Hi and welcome. I am now back from my little break that I had, my kind of long weekend. So I'm going to share with you, where are we here? Um, some of the pictures that I took, and there's a little little video of a waterfall, which is really rather nice. So I went to a place called Bonsall, Matlock, Derbyshire, and this is the dairy, the cottage that we stayed in. It was really sweet. Um, yeah, and as you can see, you know, on the day that we arrived, some beautiful sunshine. So I just really loved all the stones and bricks and things that the buildings were made of. It was just so quaint and so pretty. Um, yeah, this is the stained glass window that was in the bedroom. And there were loads and loads of these stone walls everywhere. And yeah, this was part of the farm that we were, that the dairy was situated in. Uh, Moving on to somewhere that we went to, the Heights of Abraham. You go up on a cable car, which was great fun. It really is up in the gods. I'm hoping that you can see from the view in the back of this photo here. And then this was one of the waterfalls, and this was another one. So I have posted this one, this little video as a short or a reel. Yeah, I think it's on my TikTok, my Instagram, and it's a short on YouTube as well. Another place that we went to was Bakewell. Yes, exactly where they make the Bakewell tarts. And it was raining this particular day, but we made the most of it and we had this lovely walk along the river. It was really picturesque, as you can see, and you had all of these little weirs everywhere. Um, I think I've got, yes, here we go. Um, you can see the stonework, they're just so pretty everywhere. Here we go, another one, and another one of those little weirs. And then to finish off with the photos, so I'm not going to be boring you to death. Um, I really liked this photograph. I mean, just look at that sky. Um, yeah, just absolutely stunning. So I'm going to stop sharing that with you for a moment, and let me change my view a moment. Let's see, let's go to here, and I want to add in a reference picture. So hopefully it will let me. Oh no, not you, not you. Okay. Bear with me one moment and I will sort that out. Um, let's just pause for a moment. Right, so now I have put my reference picture in here. It's from one of the photos that I took at Bakewell, but I've cropped it so that it's kind of this size. And I want to show you what I've done with I've kind of done a thumbnail on the left here. So I kind of drew out what I wanted, and then using my Holbein paint, tarts. I'm going to be using leaf green and bush warbler, Payne's grey. I'm going to mix together the Payne's grey and the leaf green, lavender, Jaune Brilliant. So lavender is for the sky, basically. The Payne's grey is for the roof. Payne's grey and Jaune Brilliant are going to be the mix for the actual house. And then lavender and bush warbler are going to be for the water. So I've got, you know, a variation of greens going on for the tree. Actually, the thing that I've forgotten, so we need to rectify that one, don't we? Is the tree. So what are we going to use for the tree? Maybe we will use, yeah, we will use some sepia. And we'll make a note of that. And we can use that for our tree trunk, if you like. And then what I've done, and I'm just going to make this picture slightly smaller so that you can see better. There we go. What I'm going to do is paint this next, but I've used this to kind of refine my drawing on this side. And yeah, maybe I'll try and make it a bit looser. So I will probably use my putty rubber and try and get rid of some of the dark lines. I've left them there for the minute. If I bring it up, you can hopefully see what I'm going to be doing. Just so that you could see that's as far as my drawing is going to go, basically. And then I will rub some of that out with the putty rubber so that it's much fainter. And then I can get on with my painting. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing next for you. But I thought it was quite nice to show you where I've been and that I am now using some of that in order to do some painting. So let's get on with making this a bit lighter and putting some colour in. So let's go ahead and use the putty rubber. Ooh, let's get it out of its little tin. The one that I'm using is the Faber-Castell one. Kneadable art eraser is what they call it. So let's just squish that up a bit. And you literally just, if any of you haven't used one of these before, you can just press and the graphite ends up on the other side. And it's just so that my pencil lines are fainter than they were. Okay, let's now, no, we might need to leave that there actually. I was going to say let's lose the photograph, but we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Right. So let us make a start. And I think I'm going to start by getting some of the, no, let's get the blue sky in first. Or rather, I'm going to be using lavender. So let's do that first. And I'm going to go just over where my tree is. Probably don't want it. There we go. We've got quite a nice little sky going on there. Now for my tree. So I'm gonna start with my lightest colour, which is the leaf green. And I'm doing this kind of tree that's over here. And what I kind of want to do is make sure that I leave some kind of white patches. And I'll add a bit of the bush warbler in. So, as I said, I want this to be, you know, quite fairly loose. And leaving some little white patches. And then I mean, you can use whatever tool you have. I just happen to have a brush that's got like a scraper bit on the end. And I just kind of want to get some, while it's still kind of wet, some lines in for our tree. And, you know, kind of peeking through some of the white patches that I left. So I can always adjust that slightly later. This bush at the front here is much greener on its own, so I think this one I'm going to do mostly with this green. But I'm going to drop in, well, let's maybe mix up some of the, is that Payne's Grey? No, that's sepia. Never mind, that'll do. Together with the, see, I didn't put down Viridian, did I? But we'll see how this comes out. Yeah, because I get a little bit of a slightly different green. I'm just going to because I really want this one to be a bit fresher than the one behind. So I really need to add if I can find a pen. Here we go. Viridian. Right, then we've got this this bush here that's going up to, and I'm doing these all together because you know, I don't mind that they kind of run into each other. So let's take our bush warbler first. And this time, hopefully, I have got Payne's Grey with a bit of luck. And I'm just going to dab a bit of the Payne's Grey in to give that a little bit of something different, basically, so that we can see we've got different bushes there. Right, what next? I think maybe dry. Yes, dry next. So I will be back in 2 ticks. I'm just going to pause and dry this. Okay, so I think you can see there's some nice little effects going on here, this is what I want. I am going to have to, add some darker bits where the shadows are. So, where's my brush gone? Here we go. So I think I will use the Payne's Grey. And I will add in a little bit of the, should we add in a little bit of the bush warbler? So that I've actually got this really dark green, and I kind of want to give the shadow coming down there. And then obviously we've got a bit of shadow at the bottom here. And then I just need to make sure that I kind of blend that in a bit more, so that we've got some shadow going on there underneath this, coming from this tree probably. Right, that's a little bit better. Right, next I think I'm going to get my big tree in. So let's do that one next with some sepia. And I'm still with my size 12 round. So we want that to come down. I have to say, this year I have been struggling so much with hay fever. And I do get like a runny nose, so to speak, but the main thing is that my eyes keep watering and it's really annoying. And after a while my eyes get sore because they itch, and then it stings where I'm itching them. Yeah, so I'm, if any of you out there are struggling like me, I sympathize. Let's try and get these in. We might end up going over some of them. And already, I know that I'm probably not copying the photo anymore. I'm just using it as a very loose kind of reference, basically. My tree is not touching the house so much as the one in the photo. Let's have that going off to one side. Okay. Oh dear, sorry, I just realised I'm doing a lot of sniffing. My huge apologies, that must be really annoying. Right, so I've got my tree in there. I need that to dry before I can do anything else. So I'm going to go down the bottom here now and see if I can get my water in. And yeah, I think I was going to use the lavender and the bush warbler for that, wasn't I? So let's get some of the bush warbler. You can't really see what I'm mixing. There we go. And the lavender. It kind of makes that kind of green that I think, you know, the water wasn't blue, basically, is what I'm saying. So I kind of want it quite watered down, really. And I need to go around my little duckies. If I can. We can always put them back in again. Okay, there is my water. And I kind of want to get some marks underneath the bottom of the ducks there. So I've just used my little tool again to do that. Right. We don't want our tree to be completely brown. So I'm gonna see if I can drop in some of this lavender so that my tree has got a bit of character. There we go. Let's just clean off my water there a bit. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit more realistic. Okay, I think I'm going to have to dry again so that I can start putting my little house in. So back in 2 ticks. Okay then, right, now I'm going to move down to a size 6 round. And I'm going to get we'll start to get the house in. I'm going to do the roof with, so I'm deviating now, basically. I'm going to do my roof. I might need to twist this or move this down a bit for me. So that I've got room. There we go. Oh, trying to get straight lines is a bit of a nightmare, but we will do our best. Okay. And let's move over and get this bit in. And somehow go between the leaves. That is now in my way. And then we've got our line going across. I'm not sure how straight that went. To be honest, it's not too bad, but I think I do need to even it up a bit. But we don't want it looking 100% perfect anyway. And there will be bits of this roof showing through. So hopefully we've got that in, which is good. And then we've got a bit at the bottom here that we can do in the same colour. Our Payne's grey. And I'm actually painting over the washi tape so that I can go right over the edge, basically. Right, I'm going to go back to my bigger brush because I need that to dry so that I can do the inside of the walls of the house, so to speak. But I need to get some leaves and things on my tree here. So let's take our bush, or not bush warbler, leaf green, and I'm mixing it with the mix that was in there basically, and I'm going to start getting some leaves on this tree. And I'm not painting leaves, as you can see. I'm basically painting shapes. Right, let's darken that up again. So we'll add some of our Payne's grey and some of our bush warbler, and then we can get some of the darker leaves in kind of at the bottom of the lighter ones. I think it's always good to you know, have some that are kind of floating around on their own. Okay. And then I'm going to put some greenery. I'm just going to be mixing my greens now. I'm not going to be able to keep up and tell you exactly what I'm using, but I want to get some of the green that's peeking out over the top of the roof there. Good. Good, good, good. Right, this is dry. Let's try and do our duckies next. And let's use my very tiny, this is like a rigger, but it's not. It's got a bigger belly at the bottom. This one is called the Branch and Detail brush by Matthew Palmer, but there are other kind of versions around. Right, first of all though, I need to mix up a sort of an off-white. Well, let's take, and you can see I never clean my palette, so you know that's just how I am. That was the Jaune Brilliant, and we'll take a bit of the Sepia, and we'll see how that goes. And we can maybe get a bit more detail. Gosh, where's its head gone? There. Get a bit more detail on the ducks in a bit. I'll get one little duck. So, we will let that dry. What are we going to do next? I think, is this going to be... No, we might be all right. Okay, let's mix up our colour for the house. So we've got some Payne's Grey in there. Let's take more of our Jaune Brilliant. And I'm really going to lighten that up. There we go. That's more like it. Right. Let's start over this side. Oh, that needs a bit more water. Going around my little bushes. Around my windows. I think one of my neighbours must be having a lot of work done. I keep hearing, it sounds like one of those things that, like a chainsaw kind of thing. I'm hoping that that doesn't come out on the video. All right. We are getting there. Oh, I've gone silent. Okay, there we go. But we don't want that to look too perfect, do we? Maybe let's just take our Sean Brilliant and have it quite a dry brush. And then we can get some kind of, just some lighter patches going on. That's better. Okay, oh, I've gone off the, oh, there we are. We're still on the page. Right, I need to do something with these ducks. But I think let's get my Derwent drawing pencils out. Okay, we have got, what's this? Taupe. That might be quite useful. Kind of just give a little bit more definition to them. And especially this one that to me feels like has gone slightly wrong, but you know what, we are not going to panic about it. And then I think it's this distant green. I just need to, there's some bits where I didn't get close enough. I think, you know, we can maybe add those in, you know, with a pencil. Right, we do need a beak. So that they've each got a little beak. And let's take a darker, this is sepia. Let's maybe just and then where are you? Let's get my platinum carbon fountain pen, just because as soon as we add a little eye, that will help. Right. Probably need to do something else with this roof. I've got like a dark grey. What colour are you? Oh, ink blue. That might do. Let's just see if we can get a bit more interest going on with our roof, and I think that helps. I need to do my windows, so I think I'm going to have to go down to an even smaller brush, size 4 round. Is this dry? No. Right, in order to do my windows now, I need to dry this again. Okay, I'm going to take my lavender and mix it in with that grey colour that was for the house, which, you know, is just toning it down slightly. And to start with, I'm just going to get this, you know, like a bit of reflection-y something going on in my windows before I get any of the detail in. And also, I think maybe if we water down, where am I going to put this? Let's just put you there. I'm just really watering down this Payne's Grey. Don't know if that's watered down enough really, but I kind of want to get, let's just try it over here. Oh, actually, I think it might be all right. You know, a bit of a shadow underneath the bit of shadow going on underneath the roof. But that's not actually dark enough. Still, better to start off too light than too dark. Yeah, I just feel like we need a bit of shadow coming down. And then we've got our windows, and I'm going to use this cool grey Derwent drawing pencil to get my windows in, because I don't think my hand is steady enough to do it another way. So we can have one like that. And then maybe we'll have... So now I'm just making it up, basically. And so we've got our little windows in. But maybe I'll have that one like that. So there are our windows. Now, I think, let's go back to my size 6. And we'll use a bit of this colour here. And I just want some of that greenery at the bottom to be trailing over the roof a little bit. Maybe we could just add a few dark bits in there. Yes, I think so. And where's my big brush gone? There you are. Let's use my big brush and get this leaf green, was it? Leaf green. And just add some splats on my tree. Well, I don't think I want them quite that big. Damp brush. And just let your thirsty brush drink it up. And then that's a tad better, I think. Right. I think what I'm going to do is clear the decks. And find somewhere to put everything. And what I want to do is take off the tape, and I'm going to use a blank piece of paper, if I can find one. There we go. Cover that up. So let's take the tape off. Where did that go? Okay. Ooh. Yeah, not as neat an edge as I would like, but right, do you know what? I'm now going to lose the reference picture so that I can maybe zoom in a bit. Okay. And there we have my version of that lovely view at Bakewell in Derbyshire. Yeah, I don't think that's come out too bad. It's my version and I rather like it. What do you think? Maybe you would have gone about it a different way, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I just need to get my little stamp out, and there's my little stamp. It's my little stamp. And I think we'll put that in this corner today. There we go. And I'm going to call that done. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for being with me. Until next time, bye for now.